Hello, everybody. I'm Aiden, and welcome back to the Manga Panel podcast. We are talking about Weekly Shonen Jump, issue number 32. Today, I'm joined by Bo.
What's going on, guys?
Trent. He's got no camera today,
Hello.
so he's just Snake.
I'm not a cat anymore. But
I love the fact that it's animated when you talk.
Yeah, like,
so good.
So yeah, we got an awesome Weekly Shonen Jump to talk about. There's the rankings immediately is just super crazy. But we've made this a new little tradition. Do you guys want to jump in and talk about your favorite, or just mention what was your favorite chapter this week? Bo, you want to start us off? What was your favorite chapter this week?
Yeah, I mean, overall, I thought this week was it's a fine week. There wasn't anything that really stood out to me, except for Elusive Samurai, which obviously we'll get into much later into the podcast.
For sure. Key, what was your favorite chapter this week?
Roboco had the single-handed best chapter this week, dude. I'm not even gonna lie to you. This is peak fiction. This chapter, and I'm gonna get into why. Because it's really just the best gag manga in the magazine right now, and this chapter
Bold
proves
statement,
exactly that.
But,
it is.
I'm
it is.
willing to hear you out. I'm willing to hear you out.
All right.
End of this podcast, because it was
At the end of the podcast.
very first this week. Trent, what was your favorite chapter this week?
Huge Maki fan from JJK, so that has to take it.
Great to hear.
Oh yeah.
I'm really torn. I love Sakamoto Days, but I'm gonna have to say Blue Box. There was just a moment that I've been waiting for way too long, and it happened. So I'm very excited. We'll talk about that one in the episode. But let's go through the rankings. Kicking off first, cover and lead. We have me and Roboco at first, and Insane. Witch Watch up in second, which is crazy because that means people have been loving it.
It also beat JJK.
And it beat Jujutsu Kaisen with a crazy ass chapter this week. We have a one-shot placing fourth, which is pretty big deal. I feel like we never really see one-shots this far up in the magazine, so there you go, Hachi.
It's written something really good.
Yeah, we've got High School Kokosei at fifth. What? And that means which is just crazy. It was just crazy to me. Then we have
manga are taking over.
The gag manga are taking over the magazine, especially
Deadass. One Piece. All the gag manga are up there.
Yeah, they're all in the top 10, dude.
In One Piece's absence, they've taken over. Then we've got Elusive Samurai, which was a great chapter. RuriDragon, Sakamoto Days, Akane-Banashi, Aliens Area, Blue Box, Super Smartphone, Undead Unluck, which I feel like we haven't seen it this high in a while, which is great to see. PPP, Mashle, which is crazy. Why is it always near the end of the magazine? But then we've got Earthchild, Doron Dororon, and Mission Yozakura drowning in the bottom three, which we will talk about in a little bit because it's just crazy to see it. Well, actually, we'll just talk about Yozakura right away. So, Trent, you want to start us off with Yozakura?
Yeah, actually, it really saddens me to see it at the bottom of the magazine because I'm thinking that the setup for this current arc is starting to affect the rankings in the TOC.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking that's why it's so low, because the setup has been kind of all over the place and boring. But specifically about this chapter, really awesome chapter. Got a lot of funny moments with the gold rank spies, and it's kind of another setup chapter, but next chapter is for sure we're going to see some action. A lot of crazy shit happened today where Momo's bombing places, which is absolutely insane. It's the biggest consequences we've seen from this manga so far. We've never seen something where the general public is getting attacked and shit, which is crazy.
Kind of crazy because it's been around so long. I feel like it's always just a general consequences in battle manga, but I mean it's kind of weird that it's taken this long to get to that point where that was a threat, but it also then really raises the stakes for this scenario in particular. Mm-hmm. I mean, and we're saying I think it's about 6 or 7 weeks or so that the rankings are normally based off of, which is crazy because that would have been when it was in what we've considered some of the best parts of Yozakura, the fight arcs with Momo and stuff. and Kyoto.
Yeah.
So it's crazy to see that this seems to be the reflecting or the ranking reflecting that, which is pretty jarring.
Right.
But no, this chapter had a couple funny gags. Momo's a insane character.
Absolutely insane.
Like just every time I see him, and I'm just like, okay, yeah.
But
sorry, go ahead, Trent.
oh no, I was going.
Okay. Momo is probably one of my favorite villains that I've seen in the magazine in a little while. Mostly just because of how different he is, like how unique he is. You know, you don't really see a whole lot of, how do I say, grandpa, evil dad looking motherfuckers in the magazine. I mean, he's out here acting like a complete nut job. He probably has his reasons. You know, he wants to do this for his family, and that's why he's doing this. I don't know how to explain it. He's crazy, but he's crazy because he likes his family so much. But his family hates him at the same time.
Yeah.
It's like a really messed up version of a yandere.
he cares about his family, but he's like actually so insane that he's actually just completely out of touch with his family.
Yeah, exactly.
And just like understanding
delusional.
anything. Yeah, just completely delusional.
But he also kind of reminds me of like a millennial or like a boomer or something in the sense because of how like he's like, oh hey, I started a YouTube channel or leave my kids alone. It's just like, you know, I just think it's hilarious.
I love the trope that I've been seeing in like anime and manga recently. Like I've seen it in Love Is War, Uncle from Another World. There's 100 things that do it now. But the old man or dad using YouTube and the internet is just a great it's just a great joke. It's a good one. It never gets old.
Yeah.
Seriously, keep using that joke. It'll never stop being funny.
But overall, I think it was a good chapter. We got the Gold Spies seem to like get serious. There's that one panel where they're just like, "Oh, this guy's calling us out. Okay, let's go kick his ass." But overall, it is kind of sad to see Yozakura so low. But we did get that manga volume 1.
Yes,
confirmed,
we did
right?
actually.
Yeah,
last,
awesome.
I don't know if that's been like announced, but I was looking at Viz's calendar on their website and it said paperback, and I was like, holy smokes, that's a big deal. Which might mean a little sidebar might mean that we might actually get like a second chance at seeing High School Family Kokosei, Roboco, and Witch Watch published in physical English, which would be great. Which would be awesome, honestly, especially Witch Watch because it has my favorite covers in the magazine.
Yeah,
they look amazing.
Yeah,
I would love to be able to buy some Yozakura Family
right?
and Witch Watch.
And now you're gonna be able to get Yozakura, and then hopefully Witch Watch soon.
Does Viz really publish gag manga physically? I feel like I haven't seen that.
Not really.
Not recently.
No,
like
not
they did
as
Overlord back
much.
in the day, but that's 20 years ago at
Bobobo,
this point.
Gintama, and both of those are.
Yeah, those were decades
those
ago
got
at this point.
discontinued.
So
There's
If they
definitely
do
been
it,
other
better do
gag
well in
manga.
sales.
There's definitely been other gag manga along the way, but just not super commonly. So I'd love to see them try their hand at it. Because there is like popular gag manga, like Way of the House Husband and yada yada. They're published by Viz, so I think they could totally do it, and I think they would sell. Like we're definitely seeing a point where Jump is popular enough that they will get the sales they're hoping. They're literally printing canceled series physically.
Roboco especially, I feel like would do fine.
Roboco would I could definitely see
with an anime,
and then to see them like announce that Yozakura was going to be digital only, and then to double back and go with physical, I think is an interesting choice. So hopefully we can see some.
I mean, if Ayakashi Triangle can get physical, bro, then I mean anything can.
Right?
Right. Well, that's the thing. They're doing Red Hood. They're doing Ayashimon. Like clearly, Viz has like I don't know if it was like Demon Slayer's popularity or what, but they've recently seen something that's like, okay, let's just publish everything.
Yeah.
in the past 2 years,
which has been great.
That's good. It's good. Yeah.
Very good.
I don't mean to. Sorry, one last thing.
No, absolutely.
Last night I was watching a video. Someone was talking about the Western comic industry versus the Eastern like manga industry and stuff, and why the Western manga industry is failing and all that. It was like a 30-minute video essay. I was just falling asleep to, but he brought up a good point that we're reaching a point where manga is becoming more popular than comic books.
Oh,
like with Superman and all that. And this is seeing that, and they're realizing that they can make a profit of this because it's becoming a very good and popular hobby, just like anime is, you know? So hopefully we'll see more stuff being printed as time goes on.
Well, yeah, I think like they can start printing nicher things without taking a loss or being concerned. You know, like because that audience is so widespread now and so large. I think they definitely can take that chance.
Right.
And speaking of series that'll probably get canceled very, very soon, Doron Dororon just decided to do a 10-day time skip in the middle of a chapter, and I'm like, okay, yeah, we're ending soon.
Yeah.
It was an okay chapter though. Like I feel like there's like some actual stakes. I like the scene where like you can see all the Mononoke like coming in.
Yeah,
and like,
that was my favorite.
It was great. Yeah, it was a fine chapter, but yeah, you do a 10-day time skip. Like they could have so easily padded that out and made like the preparation for this little war that's about to happen. It take so much longer.
I was so like. As I was reading the chapter, I'm like, oh, maybe they will continue this for a while. Like, they're setting up a big deal, like, for an arc. Like, they're going to do all this preparation. They're going to have, like, they literally said it's going to be an all-out war. So maybe they're going to have a longer arc. And then they do a 10-day time skip. And I'm like, nah.
It could end in 2 chapters if they wanted.
Yeah, it is going to end. It could end soon. Craziest thing was that it looks like we have a traitor among them. At the end of the chapter, which will be nuts.
Yeah.
I'm very interested to see how that plays out or what happens there. But
imagine it's the girl that we haven't seen.
That'd be fucking nuts. Like retconning the whole thing, just like
that would be so crazy because she's the one who got
That's something I'm curious about is I feel like Doron doesn't have any characters that are developed enough where it would be like a really good payoff for them to be a traitor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I feel like this might be a twist for the sake of a twist. It almost feels like.
Yeah. I think that my biggest takeaway from this chapter is that this is just Demon Slayer set in a modern setting.
Kind of.
That's how it's feeling.
But also bad.
Yeah, but also bad. If you think about it, look, they're people that have a corpse, right? They're in a large group setting with rankings and everything. You know, like they got their Hashira and they got their lower ranking members, and they have swords. Everyone's just running around with samurai swords willy-nilly because those swords specifically can kill the Mononoke, just like in Demon Slayer. And everyone's got some kind of special ability or something, man. Just how it is. I'll make the rules. This is Demon Slayer, but not really. the one saving grace is our little merchandise selling friend who we all love. You know.
If only Doron did well enough to get merchandise.
Yeah, if only, dude. I'd pay so much money for one of those plushies. Like, please, God. But no, I don't really have anything else to say about Doron. It's just kind of doing its own thing right now, and it seems like it's going to end soon. We'll have to wait and see what happens.
I just like definitely see it ending. It's like
this and Earthchild are like the top 2 candidates for sure.
Oh no, definitely. And speaking of, unless anyone has got any more thoughts on our canceling Doron. No final words. All right.
No.
Earthchild, what the fuck?
Bonkers chapter.
Really bonkers chapter.
Like, what is going on anymore?
It's been this whole series, man. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just like from chapter 1. Like it's crazy to think that it was like maybe like 7 chapters ago. He's at his at the in-laws, and now we're in hell. So like.
A fucking panel where he's a skeleton.
Yeah, like he's literally like.
Bro, I don't know.
His skin starts ripping apart. He's it's insane, and then he's coming back together. And then you've just got the Earth God staring down at him.
Crazy. Yeah, no, bro really said, hey, I'm gonna deny death by saying I love my family, I love my wife. Overall, the chapter was pretty crazy. I think that it's interesting that he's basically confirmed to be like an amplifier or like a booster for the Earth Children. So like whenever they make contact, they can just basically triple or quadruple their energy output or whatever. Which makes the character like way less useless than we initially thought. And I don't know how I feel about that because it kind of feels like now there's stakes for everyone in the family, but also I kind of liked how he was just a normal guy putting up with his superpowered wife and superpowered child, you know?
Yeah.
Well, he is like still a normal guy, but it's like the power of love beats all. Like that's kind of like its motto right here.
Right.
Which in a sense is cute because I feel like that was a lot of like what propelled the story in the beginning. But yeah, I don't know. I can't tell. Like they could just end it here. Like it's happy family done. So I really don't know what's gonna happen with Earthchild. But
the thing is, like, we could both Doron and Earthchild could end any time now, but they have to have a series after that, after it ends, to, like, fill in the magazine a little bit more.
They'll always
like they have to have some that they're sure will do better, right?
Well, no, they can always just try something new. It just has to pass the serialization meeting. That's all.
Yeah.
There better be some damn good ideas, man.
There'll probably be some more gag manga.
Yeah.
or another battle manga.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The stuff that actually seems to stick like consistently, like every time we get one, is like a romance.
Unorthodox stuff.
Yeah, like Akane or even
or actually
for a while.
PPP.
Like look at PPPP,
yeah. Look at PPP, yeah.
Yeah.
I think PPP is not even in my top 10 for the magazine, but it's still doing incredibly well and it's been lasting way longer. So I guess
it's definitely been a trooper for way longer than I thought it would be.
Oh yeah.
But before we talk about that, unless someone else has something to say about Earthchild, no,
it's just interesting. I guess we're gonna probably just watching it get canceled again. Super beautiful art. I absolutely love.
No, the art is
him grabbing her. That was awesome.
Every chapter, so pretty.
Yeah, just smashing through hell for love. Earthchild.
Yeah. So cute.
Mashle.
Actually, we talked about. I think it was last week. We literally talked about like, oh man, like I wonder what Finn's been training to do, yada yada, and we had a cool Finn chapter. I liked it. It wasn't anything insane, but it was good. I liked the fight.
Can we talk about how the guys straight up are just like said, "Oh, you're apologizing? Okay, we'll leave you alone. Bye."
Yeah.
And they just comes right back like. It's fucking nuts.
Also,
it's like, oh shit, he came back.
Also, the craziest, and the biggest deal in that chapter was Dot losing all of his toes.
Oh yeah, in the force.
Bro, fucking stepped and just like.
Not at all.
Also, like my favorite thing is because it's like super relatable to like I feel like any like video game is like them just sneaking past all like the super tough enemies. I'm like, oh, that was easy.
Yeah.
I really like that one. It was a good chapter. It was a fun one, for sure.
I think it's crazy that this guy basically has Trafalgar's Law's like powers. He can just like switch things around. I think that's a really useful ability, and it's going to come into play somehow. Because I can almost see like everyone in Mashle's like friend circle teaming up against the final enemy because he's probably not going to be able to take it down on his own. Just because he doesn't have magic himself, and I mean, he's always overcome everything, but he's gonna need like just a little bit of help.
Or he's been training with the god of muscles or something. I feel like Mashle will be the total like friendship shonen, friendship wins in the end, or the most like chaotic like OP power ever. The god of biceps and Mashle win.
Ultimate flex. Fucking dies.
I thought when reading this chapter, I thought it was going to go more of the gag manga route, and I thought it was going to have like a lot of pages dedicated to these guys, and I thought Finn was just going to swap their places with the Divine Visionaries. I don't. That's how I envisioned. Like when I first read it, yeah, I thought, but. I am actually glad that Finn got like an actual moment to fight because that's something I've kind of been hoping for a while.
Yeah, it was like.
Or like actually
really
since I started reading the series, I hope Finn would get a good moment.
Yeah.
Does anyone remember the female character from the first chapter that just got kind of written out? Like we haven't seen her at all.
You mean
Lemon?
Lemon's been
Lemon's been in it. A couple
she was like
times.
she said she showed like she showed up when they announced that they're all hunting down, and she said something. She made another joke about Mash being her husband.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
She
Right.
she constantly like reappears, and she'll make good jokes.
She's around.
Yeah, she's around to make.
She's there, but she's like,
wifey
she's not.
jokes.
I feel like she's not even really part of like the core group anymore.
Not
Like,
really.
what's she even been
No.
doing?
Have we even seen her like I don't think we even seen her like powers at all.
No, she was just kind of there for gags mostly.
Yeah.
She's there as the love interest that doesn't
Yeah.
really matter until like the very end. Kind of like Hinata, but Hinata did more. You know?
Kind of, yeah, I see it. You know, I'm like, I feel like we're just counting. I always think like it's always like next week. It's like, oh, next week Mash is gonna show up. Next week, I think we're gonna have like quite a few more chapters before Mash shows up. At
It
least,
feels that way.
Oh,
yeah,
for
which
sure.
is like, okay, cool.
It's gonna be like comically long because
I-
every single chapter is just gonna still be there, just kind of winding the key.
Yeah, like, but it's cool because it's actually it feels like it's giving us a chance to let the other characters shine a lot. Because every time Mash is on screen, he just like he steals the complete attention of us.
Yeah. I almost wish I had done this earlier.
Yeah, absolutely, or at some other point in the manga. But I do like it.
Yeah. Better late than never, I guess.
Yeah. But
What are y'all's like overall thoughts with it? Like, are you thinking that it's been a good run so far? Like, it's been good enough that there's nothing in particular you want to see from the series before it ends? Like, what's like your wish list, I guess, is the question.
Well, I think, like, for me personally, I think MASH is so, like, just bizarre. Like, it just does all these crazy things with its, like, super over-the-top sense of humor that, like, I never feel like I can expect to know what Mashle's gonna do. And that's what I enjoy the most about it. I just do hope we get to see, like, some properly good fights and, like, I like, because it's in its final arc, I'm almost sad to see it go because I just love these characters so much. Like, they built a really cool, strong cast, and I love Mashle's gags. So, like, I don't know. I just hope it has, like, some good, like, good moments just to have good sense of humor again. Because, you know, final arc, it has to be serious most of the time. But I would love to see, like, a couple more just pure gag chapters. Especially at least after the fact, or maybe even a couple before if they can make it work. Which they probably could just because of Mashle's tone.
Yeah. What about you, Bo?
I agree completely. I just want more gag.
Yeah.
More gag humor.
One more gag?
Yeah.
Trent?
Because, like, I understand that it needs to be serious because it is the final arc, but the gags of Mashle are what got me in.
Yeah.
So it's a little, you know, that's why I didn't like the one fight with the magnet guy. That was so boring because Mash wasn't there. There was no jokes even happening. Whenever someone tried to make a joke, they made a joke about how they shouldn't be making jokes, and I was like, that's not what Mashle is.
Yeah.
So as much humor as they can cram into, that's what I'm here for.
Yeah, absolutely.
Trent, you got anything?
I'm kind of in the same boat as Bo and Aiden, but I just want to see Lance. I feel like he's been out of the manga for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's great.
Oh yeah, he exists. Yeah.
I'm actually kind of surprised to hear you say that because I know you really don't like the guy with like the sister complex as like a.
Well, yeah, I don't like that trope, but
Stereotype.
Mashle and Yozakura family do it good, so
Well,
I
yeah,
don't mind it.
they immediately, like, they make fun of it. They're, like, well aware
They
that
make
they should be
make
making
fun of
it.
it.
The
instead of-
first,
Yeah.
literally the first time Lance is introduced, Mash's, like, immediate responses, a pedo. You're a
Yeah.
pedo.
When I was reading it.
It's so
That's
good.
so good.
It's so good.
Mash is just a genuinely great protagonist, guys. He's just thinking what we're all thinking.
Yeah.
He's there, realizing how ridiculous this all is. He's just like, I'm gonna flex on you so hard right now.
He's
Yeah.
got such
That's how
a
it
dry
is.
sense of humor, and it's awesome. I love it. Yeah. Any more thoughts on Mashle, or we're good?
I just think
Anticipation
that
for, go for it.
when it comes to like your guys' concerns about the gags and stuff, I think that even though it's the final chapter, we're still gonna see Mashle do some really funny shit to beat the final
for
guy.
sure.
So
Oh, yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
I just do hope there's like kind of like a post-final everything, kind of just like a couple of gag chapters, wrap up the series with a nice bow, have the characters, you know. So hopefully that. I do hope it gets like it's time to have a proper ending, and I just feel like the way like Mashle's been being really successful, I think we definitely have that time.
Yeah. We got a nice bow over here to wrap it up with.
Yeah, I'm right here. Guys.
That is true. That is true.
Fellas, I caught up on PPPPP, and I can finally say I've been waiting 7 episodes to say this. PPPPP, pretty good. It's pretty good. It's okay.
I know,
It's okay.
right? Thank you.
It's fine. It's an okay series.
Yeah.
It's no case. All right.
I think it like especially like as a series about like artists and people creating art. I think it's good. Obviously, in the face of something like Bakuman or like.
No, that's the thing. I read Akane first, and I can't not compare it to Akane. And Akane is simply better.
Oh yeah, no,
it just
like
No, for sure.
yeah, it's really good. I've actually been really enjoying these recent chapters. I feel like we're getting really cool setup for these piano battles. I need to just like I want to almost reread it again or at least all the piano fights with listening to the music because I was saying I think it's to Trent where I stumbled across a PV like one of their trailers for I think it's volume 3 or 4. It was 3, and they were playing the piano music and I'm like, this just made this manga like literally 10 times better. Like. Holy smokes! Why would I never think to read the music manga with music? Also, they tell you the music
a couple times in past podcasts. Like you just turn on classical music that they're playing, the pieces they're playing, it just heightens the experience. But the problem is, you're flipping through the pages like too fast, and the song is still going before even like. By the time you finish the chapter, it's like 1 minute in.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because it's not exactly the most dialogue heavy most of the time. Most of the time, it's just really, really beautiful art and
good art.
Yeah,
it's great. I really like PPP. It's I actually kind of prefer it to Akane.
Oh, interesting.
That is an interesting take. That's one I've yet to hear. Any more thoughts about like now you're caught up? Delve into the thoughts of PPP.
Yeah, I mean I'm excited to see what they do with is it Saiba? Is that Reichiro's friend or ex-friend? I'm excited to see what they do with him because he's in the 4-on-4 and he's wearing the mask or whatever.
Rin,
Rin,
that's it.
Well, that's his fake name.
Oh yeah.
I'm excited to see what they do with that. But otherwise, like, I don't know. I don't really know like where this is. I mean, I guess I know where it's going, but like I don't know what they can do to like make it exciting to get to that end point. Like it's interesting, but it just kind of like. I don't know. It's hard for the series to amaze me.
Yeah.
With Akane, I feel like every chapter or every couple chapters they do something that's like, oh, they're doing that, okay.
Yeah.
With PPP, it's just like, okay, here we go.
And especially so because I feel like for a little while it had a lot of trouble after like the first 5 or so chapters to get its footing. It took like till like chapter 15 or 20 to really kind of get good again. It was stuck in a lull for quite a bit. It was definitely in danger. I remember like before I was even reading it, just watching and being aware that it was in really big danger of being canceled. So I'm glad that it's not, and it has like a solid place somewhere, not in the front of the magazine nor the middle, but kind of just like near the back, but not in the back. I feel like that's just constantly where I see PPP, but not in danger.
For me, I think it's the thing that sets it apart from Akane for me is that Akane so far the only thing that's really grabbed me about it, besides the art, of course, because the art's always usually good when it comes to these series. The only thing that's really grabbed me is that every like person that's competing with her, especially in the recent chapters, does Rakugo a little bit differently. I'm like, okay, how's this person gonna do this to wow the crowd and make it better, make it their own? And that's their style, right? Like we have the guy that was telling modern stories, another person that's doing it, but she's using her acting skills to evoke emotion, like with the crying in the recent chapter, right? With PvP, it's interesting to me because of the way that they visualize how the music is to like everyone else. In PvP, they're trying to reach the audience. At least that's what Loki's goal is, right? He's trying to use his music to reach every member of the audience and evoke emotion that way, everyone individually. And that's just really, really cool to me because everyone sees something different, or at least they see something that takes them back in references to the music, right? Sure. Like my favorite chapter from PPPP was the one where he did that going home song or whatever, and there was like the sunset and everyone was put into like this beautiful walk home from school. I'm just like, wow, that's actually really, really nice. If this ever gets an anime, I really want to see that happen. It'd be really, really cool.
I wanted to mention that. I think out of every manga that's like newer manga, this has to be the one I want to get an anime the most. If this gets animated, it will be so much. I typically prefer manga, but the anime for this would be so much better.
Especially because like something where something auditory would be heightened. I know, especially with like the same kind of speaks for Akane. Definitely more so PPP because music is such a powerful thing. But also to see
Yeah.
like a music manga do fairly well in a magazine with obviously no audio, is really good. It's really impressive.
Yeah.
Also, something the anime can also benefit from is since they're playing classical music, they don't have to worry about copyright really.
Yeah,
All
exactly.
those royalty- yeah, it's all free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Public domain.
So you actually get like the same music that they are actually playing, and don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad that we got to talk about this because I feel like PPP we talk about a little bit every week, but when it comes to like the music itself and everything, I feel like this is the first like real discussion we've had on it.
Yeah.
So
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure.
I'm happy.
Also, more to this chapter because I've had a little bit more time to think about it. It's crazy that I feel like Lucky has now intimidated his brother. Like he, like,
Yeah, his entire demeanor changed in like the past 3 chapters.
yeah, because of his demeanor, and then in this chapter he was saying like Lucky's really changed, and it came across that he was almost intimidated by his brother, which will be interesting because they're obviously going to be the one that do the battle, so that'll be crazy.
Yeah.
I'm just so happy that he has like 2 of his siblings with him this time around. You know,
Mhm.
it's so great to see that he's like getting along with some of his siblings again, even though his older brother's obviously gonna be like a jerk. Maybe he'll change after this tournament arc's coming up. But
Well, actually, Lucky says in this chapter, he's like, it's like the first time that I'm like really quarreling with my siblings.
yeah,
Pretty
yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, that's something that I actually thought about while reading this chapter. There's 2 other siblings that we haven't seen much of.
Yeah.
The one that
And he
Aiden
kinda
doesn't like
feels-
to think he's ugly.
He does look ugly.
Yeah, he is. That guy kind of looks weird. But it's kind of weird because I feel like this tournament kind of feels like a final boss kind of tournament.
It does.
Like with Panta. So it's kind of weird to think that there's 2 more siblings that he probably will compete against.
But this is the oldest one that he's going against right now, right? Fonta?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only
So
reason I remember that guy's name is because his name was Soda.
Yeah, soda.
it's the same for me.
Yeah.
It's the main reason I remember it.
But yeah, PPPP, pretty good. We all agree. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm so
I was
proud of you
waiting
for
for
doing
it.
that joke today. Let's talk about Undead Unluck, or I guess I'm going to talk about Undead Unluck.
It's rising.
It
From
is
the bottom
rising.
up.
It's going up. Rise, my brother. Rise.
No, like next week it's gonna be in the back of the mag. Actually, it's gonna be canceled next week. Poof.
Yeah, it's not this
no, no, no.
chapter.
No. Don't do this. Don't do this to me. No.
No.
I'd actually like to talk a little bit of spoilers on this chapter, if that's okay with you guys.
Go nuts, man.
Go for
Yeah,
it.
it's fine.
Okay.
I'll forget it.
You guys are gonna forget, like, really? Okay.
I've got so much to read before I get to Undead Unluck.
Exactly. I will not remember this conversation, so go for it.
All right, cool. So Annie and Fuko back together. They're the fighting duo that we've been seeing for most of the series. They're back again, taking on what is kind of like the final boss of the series already. It's kind of nuts, right? They're trying to make it to this thing called the Arc, which is gonna basically. This is again really spoilers. I really hope you guys don't mind. The Arc is basically what they use to time travel. To go back in time. They're going to go back in time to fix all this before it happens, basically.
Back to the Future.
Back to the Future. No, not really. It's because every time that they explain it kind of towards like the middle beginning of the series, there's like a time loop, right? And they've been on this time loop about 99 times, and this is going to be the 100th time that they're going to do this, right? So that's why in the past couple of times that we've talked about it so far since the podcast, I've said that it could go on, but it probably won't. And then we got that news not that long ago that said that this was going to end pretty soon, like it's like kind of final fight moment. So that kind of makes me wonder: are we gonna just not? Are they not going to make it to the Arc? Are they not going to go for the 100th time loop? Are they just going to fight God here and now? Like, what's going to happen? You really don't know. A character that I really liked almost died, and that was really heartbreaking to see because she almost went out in the most brutal way too. She's trapped in like this. Her ability is untouchable, right? She's trapped in like this ball thing, so that people can't touch her, and she hasn't hurt anybody in the process of being out of the ball. But she has this one tiny hole that she uses for air and food. And the bad guy used his ability to basically flood the ball so that she almost drowns, right? And like chokes on blood and shit. It's really, really intense, but like they overcame it. It was good. and now we're still just kind of in the middle of the fight. That's the basic recap of the chapter. I hope you guys really do forget, because that was a lot of spoilers. But overall,
What did you say?
Oh, okay. That's the goal.
No.
All right. But to any Undead Unluck fans watching, thank you for listening. This has been Key talking about Undead Unluck alone.
It does make me wonder. So you're talking about how like they've said maybe it could be ending soon. How soon do you think that is? Because I almost wonder, do they end this and just let Doron kind of coast for a while? That wouldn't even surprise me, honestly.
Like I said, they're kind of fighting what appears to be the final boss, right? Except for not really, because the final boss has always been God. Like, their end goal is to destroy God, but we haven't even really seen him. Right now, there's two main antagonists on the field. One that's like a rival to Andy, almost. I forget his name. Always do, because they haven't brought it up in a little while. And then the other is like a harbinger of God, like an angel almost, but not really, because they have talismans as their power or something. So after they defeat these two, then they could jump right into the fight against God. But this fight is probably going to go on for at least 5 chapters, right? And that's if they end it here. So if I had to guess, I'd say maybe 20 or so chapters it could end.
Okay, Doron ain't lasting that long.
So probably not that long, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably not that long left.
All right.
But that being said, let's talk about Super Smartphone. Trent, what do you got?
Awesome color pages. Something we said last week was
gorgeous color page.
But something we said last week was it was ranking really low, and we're kind of worried about it. But getting color pages kind of just confirms that it's not something to worry about. They still have faith in the series, so hopefully it keeps on this train of doing better. Don't want this to end. It's out of the newest series. It's one of my favorites.
Oh,
what you just said about color page is interesting. Sorry to cut you off. Hold on, I just want to say this real quick, because I was binging PPP yesterday, and there was like a 20 chapter stretch where there was no color pages, and I was just like, what is going on? But I guess that's what you were talking about, Aiden, where it was like not doing great for a while. Just getting a color page again already, chapter 10, like we're good. We're good.
No, for sure. Keep going, Trent.
Yeah, sorry.
You could.
But yeah, so I'm just happy to see that it's getting color pages, and then oh man, I guess I'll just go on to talk about the chapter. Amazing chapter. It's harkening back again to what I said a few weeks ago, where I don't want Q to be omnipotent. He's taking L's now.
Yeah.
He's not
right, dude, left and right.
He is just taking L's. And it's really cool to see him do that, because his personality is kind of
really just listen to Trent in the podcast. He's like, okay, I got to make sure this guy does not be an overachiever.
They're listening in.
Yeah, thanks for listening in. Manga, but I don't remember his name. But
I think it's a duo. Yeah, it's a duo. So Hiroki Tomosawa is listening, and Kentaro Udano is drawing what you're saying.
Write that down.
Seeing this character, kind of like his reaction to defeat is really interesting. Mm-hmm. I always like to see that in like shonen protagonists, is how they handle defeat, because they usually come back from it even stronger. Or they almost always do. It would be weird for the formula not to, but
yeah.
The way, like the whole panel where he's sitting next to his bike and he's just like looking all serious is really awesome. I'm really excited to see where this arc goes.
Also, Q, like I also like that Q doesn't mind loss over morals. Like he has like such a obviously like we constantly compare. At least I constantly compare it to Death Note. Because I feel like it's one of the few things that are like it. But when you have a character with morals versus a character with literally no morals at all, like Q is such an awesome protagonist that I actually like really, really like. And the scene with his parents and like relating to his younger brother was really cool. Mm-hmm. Kind of just see like that this has given him like almost like a second like a proper reason to live again and to like to truly like like it gives a lot of more meaning to his life. But no, it's been really, really good. I really, to your effect, Trent, like, I love that he's struggling, and also now we get to see him have to, like, it's not him just cleverly overpowering everyone. He has to cleverly get out of these situations so that he ends up with the upper hand, which is that's the point where we have, not that he's like constantly on the upper hand. It's he's on the struggle, which has been really, really interesting. And it's also only 10 chapters in. Like, there's a lot of stakes.
It feels like a lot
of interesting. A lot of interesting things have happened for only 10 chapters.
Yeah.
What you said about morals actually also brought to mind a really big moment for the chapter, where at the end he was kind of like, "Oh, Mora, I think that's his name. Mora was bait. Yeah. If the bad guys get to him first, they'll kill him.
Yeah.
Like, they'll kill him and to cover up any tracks." And then he also said they'll get a lot of points for that. So obviously he doesn't want him to die, but there's also that kind of like calculating part of Q in that sense, which is really cool.
Yeah, it's like, okay, there's two reasons why I can't let this happen. One, because I'm a good guy and I cannot let this happen. I want to see someone dead. But also because points that I'm not getting.
Yeah.
So there's that competitive sense to him.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys. I think Q's great, but I think I'm really more excited to see what the villain is doing. Like the main guy that we've been facing off against.
Yeah.
Because, like, holy shit, this guy is really just out here using people. And then he's got that second superphone user, right?
Yeah, I think Aruma was his name, that was introduced at the beginning of the chapter, who's very creepy. He's
really creepy, but he's like hungry for that, like, gratification from, like, his new senpai, sensei, or whatever the hell he is. Yeah, his superior, right? I kind of like that trope when there's like this guy is obsessed with impressing someone else that's higher than him to prove like, oh yeah, I'm his right hand man. I'm gonna find you, Q, but you're gonna be beneath me and shit.
Mikami.
Right?
Yeah.
Mikami from Death Note.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm just kind of waiting to see what happens with him because I think that means that he's gonna go out of his way to like take down Q in this situation, while the big head honcho is just gonna hang back, wait for the news to come to him, right? Because he's got both of his two smartphone users in on this, right?
Yeah.
Which is kind of unfair. It's like 3-on-1 in this case. So do you guys think they're going to introduce another smartphone user that's going to help Q somewhere down the line? Or do you think it's going to be just him against the world?
I think if anything later down the line, but I almost don't want it. I want to see Q just get out of this situation. This really, like, he is cornered from all three sides right now.
Yeah.
Something he might not get a superphone ally, but I think this arc is going to end with the police finding out about superphones. So the one police girl would be able to like rationalize things and kind of help Q think about stuff maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they'll be teaming up at the end of this for sure.
Oh,
yeah,
definitely.
for sure.
Then in that sense, it's going to be very different from Death Note because they're going to have full like knowing of this supernatural object, which is the superphone, unlike how the police did with the Death Note, because that was trying to be a secret the entire time, right?
Yeah, it wasn't until like halfway through that they figured it out, but like only a dozen chapters is quite the difference in time. But yeah, no, obviously this differentiates a lot from Death Note, but it's literally like the only thing we can compare it to. Because
I can't think of anything else like it.
There's just not much.
So.
There's not not many psychological.
Maybe Platinum End is the only thing I could think of.
Yeah, but
I'm not raring for this to turn into a battle manga at any point.
I'm not going to compare a superpowered smartphone to literal god powers, but you know, that I guess that's anything by those people that wrote Death Note. Hey, Bakuman. But yeah. Overall, smartphone, you're doing great stuff. We're rooting for you. Don't get canceled.
Yeah, absolutely. I was gonna say this is a series they really want to see do well and like succeed a lot. I have high hopes for it.
All right, let's play a quick game. Doron or smartphone? Which one would you prefer to be canceled?
Oh,
Doron for sure.
By a landslide.
Okay, no brainer.
That's not even a question.
Okay. Akane-Banashi or Earthchild?
Earthchild.
Earthchild.
family. Yeah.
Okay. Last one. RuriDragon or High School Family Kokosei?
Ooh.
Oh, that's
probably,
actually hard.
That is
Hey,
tough.
bro, what?
That
Why
is
is that a
tough.
hard question?
Because Kokosei is a good gag. I mean,
Okay,
Man, we already
Yeah,
have a
it's
gag
a good
manga.
gag
That's
manga.
clearly doing better.
that's also true.
Nah,
That's also true.
Roboco's lame.
I don't.
Roboco is the best.
I haven't read Roboco to really compare it. But also RuriDragon's so young, young, which I'm excited to talk about that episode. But we gotta
I
talk
just
about.
tried making it tougher. You know.
We gotta talk
You
about.
guys were saying it's too easy.
But Lubok. Actually, I feel like we talked a lot. Bo, do you have any thoughts on Super Smartphone before we move
Oh
on?
no, I
know so too. Like this is one of the series you're reading. You're caught up on. You have to say something, man.
Man, I'm caught up on most of it now, other than the
Oh,
romance.
okay.
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Super Smartphone's good.
Yeah. Let's. I'm excited to talk about Blue Box. This was a really interesting chapter.
You said it was your favorite this week?
Definitely my favorite this week. Tough call to call it my favorite, but it definitely deserves it. Just because I feel like culture festivals in any romance just mean the biggest twists and turns, always, every time. We got to see for all you Hina simps, her as Snow White.
Yeah.
And then Taiki actually just didn't really care because
Hey.
in comparison to when this dude gets asked out on a date. So that's a huge deal. This is like also she just so boldly asked him to go see this band. It was a band, right? I think that's what it was.
Yeah, it was a high school. It was
It
it was a second year band
Yeah,
at the high school.
Yeah, no, which like she literally scores a shot, but actually misses, but asks him out.
It bounds off the rim, yeah.
Yeah. She made a different bucket in that scene.
Man, I don't know what to think about this chapter.
There's not really too much except for I feel really the ending. But I've just been waiting for that moment so much, and also just because we've had such big Taiki moments, to see Chinatsu being so bold was very exciting because I felt like pretty much 90% of the manga has been Taiki making moves, and then you just watch the girls essentially react to what he's doing, and then to really see like Chinatsu kind of come on to him. I also feel that this was pushed because of the moment with Hina, and then her probably also feeling like, because we're not obviously seeing too much of what they're thinking. This is definitely, I feel like, a reaction to the moments with Hina. So
there's also another thing that I thought was interesting is before she asks him out, Taiki says something like, all you think about is basketball, and she's like, not really, or like she says
hardly is what she says.
Hardly, yeah, she says hardly, and then she asks him out, which is a really cool moment.
That's actually, I didn't even catch on to that, which makes it
So
that much better.
She's been waiting.
She
she
essentially just said there, basketball's not on her mind as much, but he is, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Which is a really cool moment.
Further proving the point that this is 100% more about the romance than it is about the sports. Which kind of makes me a little sad, but you know.
Hey, we had some fucking amazing sports chapters.
We had an awesome sports arc recently, so I'm not complaining.
And it was also like literally just them scrimmaging in the gym. They weren't even actually at an actual tournament or anything. It was just scrimmages, which was fun. Aliens area. Let's talk about Aliens area. Sadly. We have to.
You want another easy question? Which one would you rather get canceled? Aliens area or Doron?
Aliens area.
Aliens area.
Yeah.
I don't.
Dude, what happened? It was so promising.
It had a lot of
promise. We're only 6 chapters in. They could fix it, but god damn it.
I read this whole chapter with like no care. It was all just words to me, and I was just reading it. Like I like the art, and I like a lot of the art.
Good.
I like a lot of the character design, but I was just like, I don't care about any of this right now.
I don't. That's the thing. I don't care about a single character here anymore.
Yeah.
They've done nothing. Literally nothing.
Yeah. No,
The one saving grace is that I've compared the 2 main characters to the Dr. Stone 2 main characters. That's That's the biggest selling point for me right now, and the action is just even the fight scenes, man. I can't.
They should not have made this a battle manga.
They shouldn't have made this about manga. I would have rather this been like a creepy sort of thriller, almost. You know?
Yeah.
Or even like
Yeah.
I don't know, like I was interested a little bit in like the political like kind of commentary between the aliens and the humans, but they just like
that was
they
fun.
like barely touch on it, and even like there's clearly some important like political, I guess, like issues brought up in this chapter between like oh, like the princess's planet was definitely turned into a colony at this point, but they just like they just slightly bring it up and then that's it, they're fighting. Okay,
That's something that I think this manga does a lot, is whenever it brings up anything, your mind instantly races to like all these cool things that it could do, and then it doesn't do any of them, and it's really boring.
Yep.
You're just like, what is wrong with you?
This. I'm almost scared for it. I feel like this might get axed even before Doron.
I think it's always about 15
yeah.
to 19 chapters, so we have a bit before it's gonna hit that point. But
Dude.
yeah.
Or they
We're
just
6
both get
chapters
canceled
in.
at the same time.
Yeah, that too. We're 6 chapters in, and the main character hasn't done anything for 3 chapters. That's
Yeah.
not good.
No,
I
that's
don't.
even worse to that effect, right? Like it's like he's trying to show him, but like we're like not really seeing anything. He just like jumps with gravity, zero gravity.
Yeah,
for, like,
but
a
these
couple seconds.
tools they're showing aren't interesting.
No, I like,
Yeah.
I mean, zero gravity is cool, but it's not being utilized in a way
Did
that
you
I
guys
care
see
about.
that
Like,
one panel? It was like what was it called? Like a laser tracker or some shit like that.
Yeah.
It looks like a fucking ping pong paddle on a stick. Like, come up with anything else, anything more interesting than that? I don't know. Like,
Well, see, that's the issue. The alien powers are interesting. The main character's alien arm, that could be cool. But now they're
they
showing
just-
us tech, and it's like, show us the alien power.
Yeah, like actually have our
dude,
assassins be like,
this is the weirdest fucking thing. Why is this
Yeah.
a thing? Why'd you make a whole panel centered around this?
That
It doesn't
doesn't
make
cool,
sense.
man.
No, it literally says this is bad, and it is bad. It tells
It's
us.
bad, but-
It tells us this is bad. Yes, we know. Yeah, I mean, like it had a lot of potential in the beginning, and it does have interesting characters and character design, but it's just they're not being utilized at all,
Yeah.
properly, which is really a shame to see. I do hope it turns itself around. It has time to do it. Please do it.
Yeah,
Please.
right.
Like maybe next chapter, main character steps in. Something.
Right.
Yeah.
Something.
Please.
Anything.
like, I just don't like. I was excited for this guy with the cane and like the weird hair and like the scars and shit on his forehead, but so far he's actually just been really, really boring.
He's so boring.
But they're
Yeah.
they're putting them in scenarios where I just don't give a rat's ass. Like I don't.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Going back to like the top assassin or whatever his name is, top.
The stakes
assassin
already
without-
feel nullified. Nothing
Yeah.
feels like it matters
Yeah.
already because
No.
they're already dealing with the top assassin. Like, what?
Yeah,
I hope they fix it. I really
Um,
hope they do. But go ahead,
another thing that I think messes with this manga is the power system also isn't too terribly interesting. Like, I feel like stuff like Jujutsu Kaisen and a lot of other things have like kind of cool power systems because it's like it's based around like curse energy or something. And this one's kind of just based around alien technology, which could be cool, but at the same time, like it's just like gadgets, I guess. I don't know. It doesn't resonate with me very much. And
Not
then
really.
another weird thing that was introduced in this chapter, which is kind of related to the battle system, is the guy with the cane says everyone has 3.
yeah,
Why?
that didn't make any sense.
It's like
yeah.
it doesn't make any sense. It's like
Why would you limit yourself
It's like-
like that?
yeah, it's like if the power system was guns, and then there was a random rule that you could only hold 3 guns. It's just like that doesn't
It's
make
like
any sense.
limited
Like, hold as
inventory.
a yeah, it's like
Like
why
this
is
would
there a
almost do
limited
better
inventory?
video game.
Yeah, it's pretty much
Uh,
just saying it's only got 3 weeks and it's done. Like.
I really want this to do something like how I said earlier, how this should have been like a horror, like something that would just focus on the aliens and make it like terrifying, right? Like my favorite part from this manga so far has been when that like tentacle alien monster crawled out of that human's face, right? Like that shit was
Yeah.
tight. That was great. I'm
Yeah.
scared we're never gonna see anything like that again.
I will
it's-
say this:
Okay.
if you thought the setting of Aliens area could be cool, just read Don to Don.
Okay, yeah, no, I plan to. I 100% plan to after I get caught up on My Hero and maybe also Bakuman, because
Yeah. No,
No, I mean,
Dandadan's terrific, and it kind
Don
of
to Don's good.
it's like literally like
Yeah.
way like a million times better Aliens area. Like chapter
Yeah.
1 has you hooked
No,
all the way.
I've read the synopsis on it. It's like ghosts and aliens, and both are real, or something like that. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Like the synopsis is cool, but the first chapter literally just blows your mind. It's like holy fuck, like that's actually
Yeah.
Craziest first chapter ever.
It's actually insane. It's yeah. Don to Don slaps. Read Don to Don.
Yeah.
We'll talk more about Dawn and On. We'll get there
Absolutely.
eventually when we cover Plus series and stuff. But that's after we get everything else caught up.
Yeah, let's talk about Akane if you guys are down to right now.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yep.
we're good.
Yeah.
We bashed Aliens area enough.
I wasn't crazy for this chapter actually, like at all. I was kind of bored. I was like, which is crazy because it's not that it was bad. I don't know. I just didn't enjoy reading it as much because I felt like we saw very little about her Rakugo experience or Rakugo performance, and it was supposed to be like the most impressive one so far, but it actually made me like,
Yeah.
I feel like this is not deserving of being like so praised so highly.
Discount Hiromaru's performance was better last chapter.
Yeah, it was just like I was way more engaged in that one. Like I was way
Me
more
too.
interested in his character. This one is just like I felt like she was just being praised because she's pretty and like her voices are good, and I'm like, I feel like I don't. I
Because
feel
her
like
voices
that's
are good. I kind of picked up that she was using like her acting skills, because she was like crying on stage and
yeah. But
stuff.
she was adding to the like.
Yeah, it's almost like a weird. It almost feels like cheating in a sense.
She's
At
like
least to me.
like I feel like Rakugo mostly conveys like laughs and humor more
Yeah.
like mostly, but she's going for like more like heartfelt, touching emotion, which is interesting. But not that I like. I don't know. I'm not super sold on her performance nor her character.
I think a part of that is every Rakugo scene that we've seen so far, there is some experienced person going in depth constantly about how kind of nitpicking their performance, saying they did this good or they did this good, and they're kind of talking about how magnificent it is. But we didn't really see that. They kind of just said she's acting really well, and it's really hard to convey that in images, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not that it was bad or anything. And then I just felt that it was really bold. That at the end of the chapter they say that the winner of the event will be her, and I was like, okay, keep being bold. Okay. Which I mean will be interesting to see if that's how it plays out.
When it comes to these kinds of manga where there's, like you said, someone talking about why a performance is good and stuff, those are the Zeppeli characters from JoJo. They're the ones that are always commentating on what the main character's doing. I love those kinds of characters. And then they die. No, please don't. That'd be so dramatic and weird for like a person to die after a performance or something. Like that'd be fucking nuts, right?
Yeah.
That's what we thought was going to happen on the first chapter with their dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be. Whoa, wait. Now you mention it.
Actually, speaking of her dad, it was interesting that this was I'm pretty sure I picked it up right, that this was the Rakugo performance or like story that he performed in front of Arakawa, which is really interesting. Yeah, they put it on the side a little bit. It's like just like a super minor panel. They don't even really show his face, and I had to like double take to pick it up. So
That's cool.
it's interesting that this is. I found that to be the most interesting thing. But yeah. Decent chapter, not my favorite. I just am not attached to this character at all. That's my take with it. I don't know.
Yeah.
You guys got to talk about Sakamoto?
Yeah.
You don't have anything you want to say about Akane?
Talk.
Oh,
It was fine. I echo basically everything you guys said. It was just fine.
Yeah.
that's fine. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have anything else to really say about it either. Akane isn't my favorite series. Like I've said before. So.
I mean, I don't know that. I want to hear a lot because you're reading Sakamoto currently. I want to hear more what you're thinking about it now. There isn't like, I don't know, I don't know that we have to do spoilers for this chapter.
I caught up. So we're good.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay, then we're good. We're good.
Sakamoto was fucking peak.
Okay, cool. Go crazy. Go crazy.
I have to say,
Sakamoto.
I need to look at the list here. I have to say, this is like what 80 chapters. This is probably a top 3 for me.
Oh, easily.
Like, I would put this next to One Piece, and it's probably my second favorite in the magazine right now. This manga is so fucking good.
It is incredible.
From when they introduced the death row people, the 4 of them, I think that's like chapter 30, all the way to current day, it has been nonstop, like 10 out of 10 chapters.
Yeah.
Every chapter.
It's
I don't know how they do it. It is so fucking good.
Yeah. Like obviously to see it this low in the magazine is crazy. That just means that everything ahead of it is just doing well. But other than that, every single week since we've been doing this series, it is competing. It is beating Jujutsu Kaisen. Is beating One Piece. It has beaten One Piece on a couple of occasions, which is crazy to think that this is the series that's doing it. It is gonna be a huge staple shonen. I feel it. Like it's just way too consistently good. Every chapter, it was probably easily one of the easiest reads. I can say that I want to do it again. I just love the cast and characters. I sing the series praising so much.
Right.
I almost want to collect physicals like already.
I have the first few volumes. That's an issue I have with a lot of like the newer series that I'm reading. The characters at times don't really resonate with me, and I end up not knowing their names and all that. Yeah. The entire cast of Sakamoto Days is A+. Like every character is really good.
So good. This is a chapter that like really like shows that off, because we've got 2 characters that we hadn't seen too much of for the last like couple dozen chapters, and now we're seeing them a bunch again. It is a chapter without Sakamoto, without Shin, any of the main cast.
And it's still great.
Fucking awesome. It's actually such a good chapter. And also his art and his fight scenes are incredible. And when he does like the more like serious panels, his art is so fucking awesome. Like holy shit. When he decides to like do the really detailed panels, it is amazing. Like for instance, like this one, like these shots with this new character we have.
Yeah.
Amazing art. Like,
so good. The composition.
Yeah.
He's pretty clean looking too. The new guy that just introduced, like the old teacher, that was from the JCC, or JAA, which
got banished.
Yeah.
The JAA. Yeah.
Yeah, he's cool. I kind of want to see more of him.
We definitely will. We definitely will. This was important for a lot of reasons, so I think this will be a big chapter.
But he got away, right?
Yeah, he ended up getting away after.
He said three order members is too much.
Yeah. He's like, oh man, I could take out 1 of you, maybe 2, but 3? No, I'm out of here.
No, right. Nagamo and Osaragi are so fucking awesome. She's one of the coolest characters, like super duper funny. Yeah.
The girl with like the goth Lita, like kind of looking dress.
A wedding dress and a saw is like the craziest combination ever. I love it so much.
You see her pulling the cord.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome. Man.
In terms of battle manga in this, I would say I think the battles in this might be better than One Piece. Like I would go that far.
Oh, okay.
Honestly, the world of One Piece and the characters of One Piece are unrivaled. But in terms of actual like how the author draws the fights, so I read Chainsaw Man all the way through last year. After it was over.
All right.
I'm feeling the same way about Sakamoto Days that I felt about Chainsaw Man. And I fucking love Chainsaw Man.
Yeah. No, like,
it just feels so fast paced. It never stops.
No, and it's really like, but it's also concise. Like I can tell you what's been happening.
Exactly. It's
characters
super
stand out.
straightforward.
And like it's straightforward, really fast paced, awesome fights, awesome characters. Like also like the fight scene that I just keep going back to was the fight scene a couple chapters ago on the plane. Like the crashed plane, where like Sakamoto literally jumps, smashes up the wing. He's riding on a wheel. He smashes the guy. He literally stamps the dude's face with a passport. Just like, and it's also like things like that. I'm always conscious now reading. Like I really want to take my time reading Sakamoto, like looking at the details in the panels. There's always cool things like that going on. I absolutely love Sakamoto Days for it.
It is so good.
It's a 10 out of 10 series.
I'm glad I caught up on it before it gets too much further in.
Yeah. It's also such an easy read.
Aiden's been talking enough about Sakamoto and how much he loves it and how much he would love to kiss all over the person that's writing it. How do you feel about it?
Sakamoto Days has constantly been something that I look forward to every week. I think Bo I'm just now getting to Ennie's lobby, or I'm halfway through Ennie's lobby in One Piece right now, and I think Bo nailed it on the head. I think One Piece's best moments is the world building and the characters, and other stuff like Jujutsu Kaisen and Sakamoto Days. I think really shine in their combat. I really like Sakamoto Days' combat, and it's way more interesting than anything else in that magazine, I think.
Oh, for sure.
And it doesn't need like the stereotypical like shonen. I'm going to explain my entire power for like 12 pages, and that's why it's cool. It just does cool stuff.
Well, yeah, like they're
it
they're
blows you
not
away.
superhumans. Like they're just really, really strong people who are just.
Well, Shin is superhuman.
Shin is superhuman, but it's also not a power that we need to be explained. Like ever.
Right.
Wait, were you saying that JJK doesn't take time to explain all of its powers? But I feel like
I was saying JJK does do that, and Sakamoto doesn't need to do that in order to be cool.
Yeah.
In that sense, I was gonna also say like One Piece is like the easiest power system to understand. You got hockey, cool. You can see the future. You can make your body hard, and you can knock people that are weaker than you out. Devil fruit, it's in the name. It tells you exactly what it's gonna do. Gum
eat the fruit. Eat the fruit. Do the thing.
Yeah, basically. In Sakamoto, everyone's just a certified badass with their own like unique weapon or character trope that makes them fun to watch. Because you see this person come up on screen like, oh shit, it's about to go down.
Right.
He's put two people that are really awesome that you really like on the same page. It's like, oh yeah, shit's about to go down. It's a fun read because of, like you said, the fight scenes and how like well choreographed they are and how they appear on the panels and stuff, and how I love how Sakamoto uses like things in his surroundings, like Aiden said with the stamp on like the guy's head. I think that's fucking sick. And I think that's what makes it really stand out and unique. It's not like Alien's Area where it's trying to do these gadgets and shit. It's just a guy using whatever the fuck is around him, because an assassin can use whatever he wants as a weapon. I think it's awesome.
Well, that's what I wanted to say, because I read like 40 chapters, like just nonstop the other night to catch up, and because I couldn't stop reading it.
Yeah.
And when they're on the plane going to do the exam, they like drop down the weapons, and Sakamoto gets a pin. And that was the moment I realized I'm reading a John Wick manga.
Yeah.
John Wick manga, and it's so fucking good.
Yeah, it is great.
That's a good way to put it.
Look, I know of John Wick, and I've seen some like clips on YouTube from stuff, but I've actually never seen the movies. But now that you said that, I need to
recommend
watch
it.
It's John Wick has the best choreographed fights in any movies I can think of.
Yeah,
the film student hasn't seen John Wick. That's cool. RuriDragon, RuriDragon.
Change of pace.
Yeah. What a crazy change of pace to talk about. Very just cute chapter. I just
playing Mario on the Wii.
Yeah, playing Mario with her mom.
Watching on those graphics.
God damn, the Wii doesn't look that bad sometimes.
What Mario do you think they played? Mario Kart.
I was assuming.
I would assume
Super
Wii.
Mario Bros.
Yeah.
Wii.
Yeah, I think it's
which looks fine. Which is why I was like, cute chapter.
No, this chapter actually really hit home for me because one of like in kindergarten is when New Super Mario Bros. Came out for me, and my whole family played throughout the whole game. So it kind of like I was like, damn, this is my life for real. But
she just like for real.
But I was like, this is just like me. And then they sit on the graphics. I was like, oh, it's not that old, is
it? well, it is. But I guess they're like it is modern day, so they are going back and playing New Soup, but it is also not that old. Like
the mom is looking to buy a Switch, bro.
Yeah.
She's like, we're playing on the Wii, motherfucker.
It made me feel like I'm gonna have to pull out the cane and like a walker soon.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much to say about RuriDragon, or at least as far as I don't have much to say. I just really like it. It's cute.
Is not doing so well right now.
Hiatus next week, but it'll be back for 30 or 34.
34. Yeah. I think
it's a 14. It's 14 days break, so it's like a 2-week break, isn't it?
Well, that would mean he skips 1 week, right?
And then... he's just gone. Yeah, he's gone for the 1 week.
Yeah.
Man, I didn't know about that. That's actually, that's awful. I didn't know about that.
It makes me wonder because I mean the RuriDragon one shot was like what over a year ago, I think at this point.
Yeah.
So I wonder. I hope I really hope this doesn't become a trend. Not to like be pessimistic, but like I hope he's not actually like consistently ill.
Well, it's just
Like,
it is something like you definitely see with mangaka. It's probably he's just
Yeah.
pushing himself way too hard.
Right, which is why that's why I said maybe the one shot was so long ago, because they weren't sure if they wanted to serialize him because they weren't sure if he could handle it. And then you're already seeing kind of maybe the ramifications of that. I hope, obviously,
It
priorities
just feels
help.
way too sudden. Like it's 5 chapters in. I understand if you've been going for like a good while, but like 5 chapters, like that just seems.
It also
Like,
could
way
be
too
other.
soon.
It also could
just be something completely else, yeah.
I almost
Yeah.
wonder if it was like COVID or something. Like,
yeah,
what if he
it could be
caught
a
a case
completely
of that?
different health complication.
Right.
Well, this actually brings into mind a series that I talked about last week, Stage S.
Well,
Yeah,
that
this
also,
one,
I was
like,
gonna
chapter
mention. I was
5.
gonna mention that. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's also having health problems, which is concerning.
Yeah. Get well
The
soon,
manga
guys.
could curse.
Yeah.
Take care
Don't
of
work so
yourselves, mangaka.
Yeah, for real. Take breaks.
Pace
Jeez.
yourselves.
There's gotta
Yeah,
be like.
Yeah.
be like Kohei Horikoshi. Take breaks.
I always like. I like obviously because this magazine goes so well, but I feel like there should almost be like a bit more of like a rotating couple of series, just so that
I
mangaka
agree.
can take breaks. Like you should have more series in the magazine. Like it'll be like, okay, next week Elusive Samurai will just not be in the magazine, so that the mangaka can take a break. Like
Right.
like there should be like a rotating system like that, because you're working 7 days a week, 24/7
feels like-
essentially.
The top series always take breaks. My Hero,
Yeah.
One Piece,
Yeah.
and even to a lesser extent JJK are always taking breaks, but then everything else is just constant. I'm like,
Yeah.
they deserve a
'Cause
break too.
They probably just
It-
they probably think that they haven't earned it yet or something, right? 'Cause
I
their series
guess.
isn't
Yeah.
really...
Yeah, it is definitely like more of like Japan's like worker mentality. Like you're
Yeah.
So I just definitely think like if you're seeing more like, especially with just the industry completely entirely right now being overworked, I think that should be a system that Jump would implement. Also, there's no harm that could come from having more active series at all.
Right.
I can't really think of any, especially if you're just rotating a couple every week. Like it's not
Right.
it's not a downside to see popular manga away from the magazine for a time. One Piece, the magazine's still flourishing without it right now. So
Yep.
I
Yeah.
feel like it's not a bad idea to try it. I don't know.
I think at the very least, every series should get like 1 week off a month. Like,
Yeah.
so
right?
almost like the Oda schedule. Like that would be, enough. But
Yeah.
they
Well,
just-
that's something that a lot of people like about Jump Plus is it's so freeform. Like it's
They can just
almost
do it
like
whenever they're ready.
Right, the mangakas have their own schedules set out. Like the 1 chapter a month off thing is actually what Kaiju number 8 does. He comes out every week except every 4th week he takes off. So
Yeah.
He also takes like little breaks too. Like when he does come back, he sometimes just like drops 5 really nice sketches almost.
yeah,
Those are really cool.
Mhm.
But yeah, get well soon, RuriDragon author. Kind of
Yep.
I think it was kind of an average chapter for me. It's mostly slot cutesy stuff, and it's mostly just setting up for more. But
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah. I mean, it's
Good
what we've been
stuff.
saying. It's always a nice refresher.
Yeah.
Like read it midway through the
Yeah.
magazine.
Yeah, I think we'll maybe see soon a new like dragon trait. Probably not a major one, but maybe something. But yeah, Elusive Samurai this week. I just like that color page, hands down,
Yeah.
was so fucking awesome. It's just so cool. First off, I'm a big fish fan. I love me some water and fish, and also Ass Class celebrating his 10th anniversary, and the color page was cool. Apparently, there's gonna be some more.
Coruscant in the corner.
There's going to be some more news about the Assassination Classroom anniversary or something coming soon. I don't know what there
I don't know what it
will
could
be,
be.
but there was
Because
just
anime is done and manga is done.
there,
so
just some sort of celebration for it being since 10 years.
You need to
maybe
read
an
that.
art exhibition or something.
Yeah, it could just be something like that. Probably most likely. But yeah, no, that was cool. It was a good chapter.
This is a pretty important chapter.
It was a huge chapter,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
70
We got
chapters
the name
in,
reveal.
and we get the name reveal. And it was such an important name reveal that the Triforce was summoned during the name.
Yes, I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah.
I was just thinking that. Yeah.
It's crazy to me that the Triforce is literally the symbol of his clan. It's like, oh man, he is the chosen one. But also like the setup towards the end, like the big bulging eye guy, right? Charging in, he's gonna try taking the head. I just can't
Just
wait to see him
immediately.
like epically fail.
I think
Yeah.
I think it'll be a cool fight where I feel like Tokiyuki will just like beat the shit out of him essentially.
Yeah,
You think he'll kill him?
I don't
Probably.
I feel like maybe just because it's actually pretty.
I don't know.
brutal
They've been
manga.
moving so fast.
He's
He's almost like he's obviously not the main villain, but like we've seen most of him. So I feel like
he's
I don't
been
know.
around
They just
since,
killed
like,
Chokan. They
almost
just
the
dealt
very
with the
beginning.
other demon-looking
yeah,
dude.
maybe they'll just like really just keep picking him off, and we'll be introduced to a new cast of villains. Maybe
I guess.
know.
Yeah.
We'll see. This next
The
chapter
pace has
will
been crazy the past. Like,
yeah, I felt like it was
5
really
chapters?
slow for like a long time, like from like essentially like 30 to about 50 chapter 30 to 50. It was really slow.
Definitely
And
slow.
then now it's just been really really fast paced. Like
Yeah.
I felt like after he killed what was the other guy's name? I can't remember. The bigger buffer
Shokan.
dude. Shokan, yeah. When he killed him, I felt like we were going to get to see nothing like that for a while, and then again immediately
3 chapters later, we got it,
yeah, which is crazy.
and now we're getting the main reveal, and like obviously the implications of that. We're gonna have the fight with the eyeball guy now, so it's like
yeah.
it just keeps moving on.
Yeah,
I thought it was a great chapter.
Yeah, it's been amazing lately. Any other thoughts, Trent? Key?
I don't know. I'm mostly excited to see where it goes from here because now it's like the priest guys said. There's gonna be more people gathering to him, and they're gonna enlarge in their force just because they know that he is like the first son of the shogun or whatever, right? So he's gonna have that influence, and that's basically what Eyeball Guy is doing. We're again really bad with names. It still pisses me off that I don't.
I think it's Ogasawara. Is that
Something like that. The fact that he's coming in and like doing this, rushing to like kill him, I can see it going one of two ways. Because he's like charging headfirst, and there's no stopping him. Even the ear guy couldn't stop him. He's like his best friend / lover, maybe. I don't know. He's
Let me get in that plot.
he's charging in, so it's gonna be either one of two cases. I think that our main hero could challenge him to a 1-on-1, and then see how that works. Okay, Aiden.
Aiden's leaving. Let's keep talking about Elusive Samurai. Yeah.
Yeah, challenge him to a 1-on-1 battle, or they just fucking kill him off right there because there's hundreds of guys around him. There's no way he gets in.
Yeah, I don't know how they could do it where he possibly lives.
Because the only other option would be like if he ran it and shot the main hero, but then that just ends the story.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know. It feels too early to kill this guy, but also, yeah, I don't know how they could possibly have it so he lives.
Unless the ear guy somehow like says, "No, my love, come back."
Yeah.
I don't know. I really don't know, but that's all I gotta say about it.
Yeah.
I do feel that if they kill them, it's just doubling down on what they said this chapter, where with the one guy dead, it's definitely like a war against the current shogunate.
Yeah.
So
We'll see.
getting a war arc soon, probably, or like an actual.
It's all a war arc.
It's a war theory.
It's all been war, but like an actual Hojo clan war
Okay.
instead of just like
And
a
properly
little
leading them.
territory. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Another little. Oh, I just thought of this. Another little fun fact. I liked how they like used like old like historical art to like talk about his past like ancestors and stuff, and how it all went down the family line to where he is now.
Yeah, that was cool.
I thought it was really cool.
It was cool. I don't know. Good chapter.
High School Family? We
High
good on
School
Elusive
Family.
Samurai?
Nothing crazy.
Back
Good, funny
Number
chapter.
5.
Number 5. It's so crazy to see it in the front of the magazine. But I think like I guess up 7 weeks back, it had some really good gags, so I guess that makes sense. I don't think we'll see it up this far again or very long. But crazy to see it up in the front. It is a really, really solid gag series, so definitely deserves it for sure.
I am curious. I know a while back you were talking about a volleyball arc that you thought was really, really good in Kokosei.
Yeah.
Was that 7 weeks ago, maybe?
No.
No, it
would've
was
been
way
longer.
farther.
There was a good.
Oh, okay.
Was it a good volleyball chapter? Yeah, there was a cool dodgeball chapter. I think was like about 7 weeks ago, where it pretty much utilized the entire cast, which was awesome.
One of my favorite recent chapters was the one where they all got snowed in. Like that shit was great.
That was good.
Yeah, I don't have anything to say about it. It's just doing its whole funny thing.
Yeah. It's been
Not
funny
whole
because the whole chapter was pretty much about the dad just having back issues.
Yeah, that's about
That's
it.
good. Crazy Jujutsu Kaisen chapter. If we're just gonna ready
On
to
that
jump
note-
into that,
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure.
Myself. Let me know. Text in the chat when
we'll do
you're guys
for
on.
sure.
Yep.
Trent,
Yeah, I
go
said this.
crazy.
I said this was my favorite chapter for a reason, and it's because the arc a year ago where Maki was just tearing people up is starting. Like that's starting to matter again
That's
now.
coming into play, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Maki, ever since that arc, Maki has been one of my favorite characters in all of manga and
Yeah.
anime. She's just been badass since then, and
She's
she's
been
gonna
insane.
and she's gonna continue being badass. I'm so happy that she's just absolutely crazy.
Also, they called her a monster. And,
Monster,
like, deserved. Insane.
Bro,
Everything
it's
you
just
see
like,
her
oh
do.
shit, my favorite manga, Monster.
Yeah, no, like, no, it's crazy. Like, she definitely earned the title of monster. Like,
Yeah,
Her whole
she
clan.
she
looks
killed her whole
insane.
family.
Just like
she killed
Itachi,
everybody.
bro.
She also
Just like
looks
Itachi.
insane. She looks insane.
Yeah.
Also, really
Her burn
crazy.
Stars are crazy design choice.
Yeah, no. Also, crazy little thing was Kashimo joined them instead of a fight that resulting in their death. She joined them.
Also, mangaka guy kind of joined
kind of.
as well.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
I guess that the
Bro, he's just
him-
like, oh, I'm just a noob.
I
I
guess
get
the
serialized
results
yet.
of the fights that we've been seeing for the past, like, I guess 6 or 7 chapters have been worth it. I guess. I don't know. It was fine.
And seeing Panda again was
He's so
Kinda
Little tiny panda was fucking awesome.
which
So cute.
I'm really curious. This is something I brought up at the start of this arc when we were talking about Panda like losing his 2 other souls inside of him. But I'm kind of curious where Panda kind of goes from here because I don't know if he can really fight.
Yeah, I don't think probably for a little while will he be able to fight. He'll probably have to regain.
I mean, we
himself.
haven't seen him. We haven't seen him a whole lot, anyways. So it's not like we're losing that much. It
Yeah.
wouldn't be like Ushiguro losing his technique or anything. But, yeah, it's just interesting. Like, I wonder if he will ever get like a power boost, like kind of like Maki did.
Yeah.
Bro, Maki is absolutely tearing shit up, dude. Like,
Well, she's got cursed energy now. It makes sense.
yeah, no, it's crazy. Wow, she's just like a completely different character now, isn't she?
Oh,
she's
she's-
just
Yeah,
she's almost
bonkers.
unrecognizable. Like, she's got scars all over. She still has a pretty face, I'm sure, but she looks like more like a dude now. So
Yeah.
it's like,
They also.
You see there's a panel of this chapter that looked like the guy from Gojo's past. I forget his name,
Yeah.
but
oh,
they compared them before during the crazy ass Maki chapters or arc, but she really looks like him.
Yeah.
yeah. What do you guys think of that last page? It's like a worm-like thing
Oh.
towards the end.
Oh yeah,
What do you
that
guys
was-
think of that? Have we seen that character before? I
No,
almost want to say
don't
we
think
have.
so. I don't remember it.
the only thing I can think of is the worm that the guy I can't remember
What's
his
it?
name. It's been
Megami's
so long.
dad.
Yeah, Megami's dad. It reminds me
Yeah,
of the,
that's
like,
what I thought of, right?
yeah,
Maybe.
made me think of that, but I'm not sure. I wouldn't see. I don't think Maki would just carry around a worm. But maybe she
I
does.
don't know. Maybe, you never know. Because it's good for like storing cursed weapons and stuff. I think that was the main purpose of it.
Yeah, but she has the thing where she can. Does she have her sister's curse technique now,
I think so.
or
I
is it
don't know.
her
I might be-
technique, or is it just her cursed energy?
I'm not sure. That'd been too long ago for me to remember for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I kind of hope she has her own because her sister's curse technique was kind of boring. But
Yeah, wasn't it like something with guns or something?
yeah, she could just make an extra bullet. That's all it was. So her whole thing, her whole point was that she would use a revolver, make you think she used up all of her shots, and then she would have one extra shot to shoot you, which
So
is
it
kind
was
of boring.
it was like Mista's stand from JoJo's Part 5.
Except Mista was cool.
Mista was cool for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sex Pistols was awesome.
Sex Pistols was awesome. But yeah, JJK, you're finally back on track. You're finally getting to that point where like, yes, this is what we've been waiting for. It's getting good again. Because the past couple chapters has been kind of mid.
It's just been fight scenes and
Yeah.
kind of mid.
But yeah.
I think we're
ready
good
to
to
sum
Yeah,
back go?
let's bring Trent back in, or Bo back in. Oh my god.
Yep.
Yeah, let's bring Trent back
Yeah, let's
in.
bring
Come
Trent
on back, Trent.
All right, I'm back so I can listen to you talk about manga I haven't read.
Yeah, which watch?
Jujutsu
Yeah.
Kaisen is next, by the way. That's my next target.
Absolutely.
So
All right,
hopefully-
all right.
Maybe not next
Can't wait to
episode,
hear
but
what you
the episode
think.
after. Yeah.
Yeah.
My hero's absent. I just realized that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every other week. Consistent.
Great.
It's so crazy to see Witch Watch second. I mean, these recent chapters are 110% been paying off. I love this series so much, so it just fuck yeah, second baby, let's go. That's a huge deal. This was a good chapter. I mean, it was solid. It wasn't anything crazy. It was just kind of reminding you, like, it shows again how Nico learns her spells and like I guess more, almost like it kind of felt like a behind the scenes kind of thing.
Attacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was fun. I had no problem reading it. Like, there's definitely painful chapters to read in Witch Watch. This was not one of them.
Oh, for sure.
It had a really sweet moment near the end. It's like,
Oh
damn.
yeah.
And then also at the same time funny. Like, it can have like a really kind of sad and crazy setup, and then also still be fucking hilarious.
Actually, the last text box actually made me chuckle. I don't know. I don't laugh out loud at manga very often, so getting a chuckle out of me is pretty good for gag manga. But since the first half of the chapter was based around explaining Nico's powers,
Yeah.
they kind of like had definitions for things, and then the final panel was Nico keeping the secret from Kanchi that he got like the short end of the stick, and it was like, and then it gave a definition of friends. They help you out.
Which was hilarious. It was like, like Kanchi gets like 90% of the backlash of the spell.
Negative energy.
It's like friends, important people who are there for you to go through the good times and the bad, which was good. Yeah, it was a cute little chapter. Nothing super crazy. I think it'll be chapter 70 next week, so I feel like it'll probably ramp up to be something big. I feel like 70 is a huge milestone, so maybe they'll do something big for chapter 70. We'll see.
Give us some more like real story, maybe.
Yeah, I feel like this one was kind of like a refresher for Nico and her powers and how important she is as a witch, obviously, because her grimoire, like she has a grimoire and she can learn practically everything. Every spell.
Right.
Oh yeah, big Black Clover moment.
Yeah, Black Clover.
What I've kind of told you guys that I don't really care too much for Witch Watch, right? Like it's okay.
Yeah.
When it has its story moments, it's a little bit better for me. But when it comes to like the kind of dealing with the spell of the week kind of stuff, it just doesn't work for
Don't
me.
get me started.
Spell of the week like does something random and it's funny. I mean, yeah, it's supposed to be like a comedy manga and stuff, and it has its serious moments every now and then. But yeah, I just don't know. It's not hitting for me. No matter how hard I try to be into it. And it's no offense to you, Aiden, because I know you love this.
I love this series
whole lot,
so much.
but
It's like my favorite series in the magazine.
It's just not there for me. I just
Which
can't
is
get
totally
it.
fine. Like, it's definitely one of those series where it is like it appeals to certain people and not everyone. And there's like a dozen reasons why I love Witch Watch. Just like there's so many things that like just stack up for me to like it. It's made by a creator who worked on a series that I love so much. I see pieces of Gintama in Witch Watch, and not like in a copying kind of way. It's just that feeling, that tonality that I got from Gintama, I get a lot from Witch Watch. Also, family, I feel like is Witch Watch's like big theme.
I can see that, yeah.
And it does it really well, like family without blood ties, and it's really sweet. I love its art style. I love its characters. I think it's really built up Nico, Morihito, and Kanchi very well, and also Kago and Nemu we're getting to see a lot of, and then they're just shouting, what's it? I can't even remember his name sometimes. Miharu to the side. Yeah, you're right, Miharu. I like its cast a lot. It's a really enjoyable read. Not every chapter is amazing or super funny, but I do. It does constantly get a good laugh out of me, at least once per chapter.
At least like the past 5, I just haven't been entirely interested. Like ever since like that paper doll chapter, it's just been Like,
It's really funny.
Because it's the exact opposite for me.
It's the exact opposite for me. I moaned and groaned for 60 chapters straight about Witch Watch, and then
Yeah.
I've been like, man, these last couple chapters have been really good.
Yeah, since like I think it's like 57, it's been like really, really solid. And like I feel like he's like really like I've mentioned almost past couple episodes that it's just been like really like I feel like he's like restating Witch Watch, where he's like he's like really found his ground with the series, which I've been loving.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it deserves its spot in second, definitely. I love Witch Watch. It's definitely not for everyone. That's why it kind of sits in the middle of the magazine most of the time. But for its fan and its audience, I think it appeals really well.
Yeah, seeing it get second kind of surprised me, just because I do feel like it's something where it's either your cup of tea or it isn't.
It's not
So
like
it's
one
kind
of
of
those series that
surprising to
can
see
appeal
number
to
two.
everyone. So it is surprising. It definitely is. And speaking of a series that doesn't appeal to everyone, pick us up with Key and
still
Roboco.
like the best fucking
Chapter this week, you said, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's intense, dude. And I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna give you reason number one why this is like one of the best chapters right now. You're gonna look in chat. Ready? And there you go.
Oh my god.
For those who won't see it, describe what we're
So
seeing here.
this is straight up a straight recreation of one of the coolest panels in Sakamoto Days.
Oh yeah, that's amazing.
Holy shit.
Look at that. It's just they're at the theme park. Remember last time I told you guys how they're at the theme park and it's making just a big Sakamoto Days reference? She's throwing down with this guy who's super hard boiled, just like Sakamoto.
That's awesome.
And then they get tossed into the fucking Ferris wheel, just like Sakamoto, and end up just like this, in this same pose, just like Sakamoto.
That's awesome.
It's crazy. It's just
really
like
good.
it's very self-aware, and I love it when it does this kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
But that's not all. Oh no, it doesn't just make one reference to a certain manga in the series. It makes another reference to a really popular manga in the series that you're seeing right now.
Oh my god.
She has her own curse technique. I shit you not.
That's awesome.
Keeps out the domain expansion.
She has a domain expansion, and it's when she puts you into this cafe of sorts, and she just tells you this long, boring story that makes no sense, and
That's
the
hilarious.
guy already knows the ending to it, right? It's so funny.
That's awesome.
That sounds awesome.
It's genuinely just so fucking great, and how do people hate this? It's perfect.
People hate it because they don't read it. Like
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's the no one reads it. That's the issue.
yeah, no.
It's genuinely so creative and fun. It makes fun of itself. It makes fun of like other series, but it also like honors them in a way
Yeah.
that it just parodies everything. It's great. It's a parody manga that knows exactly what it's doing and how to execute it perfectly. It referenced two big hitters in the magazine right now at once, and that's just great to me.
Mhm. No, it's crazy
really-
to see it referencing Sakamoto, which means also just kind of shows to Sakamoto's effect as well.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I really wish you would catch up on this already, Aiden, because I swear to you, as a Gintama fan, you would love this series.
I'm sure
so
I'll love
much.
it, but Hunter x Hunter, I gotta get caught up on Hunter x Hunter first, which has been exciting developments. I've finally gotten to a point where I'm reading fresh new content for the very first time. I'm finally past where I was when I was a young little boy. I passed my 100 episodes. I'm deep into Chimera and Arc now, which has been very exciting. I'm loving it. But yeah, let's talk about some. I guess we can talk about. I can dive into. Or you got more with Roboco?
Yes. Dude, we're getting an anime and 2 live action projects. Like, this is how
Go sweep, baby.
Roboco's sweeping, man, which is crazy.
Sweet. Honestly,
I didn't want to.
it's the best
Oh, sorry.
gag manga. Sorry, go ahead. I'm done now.
I did want to say one thing. I think that's a crazy reference to make for Sakamoto Days. That is the only part of Sakamoto Days that I actively didn't like.
Really?
I didn't like
Really?
the music. I will
I
will
don't
say that I do think that arc was bad. I didn't like it. I thought it was boring.
I don't think it's bad, but it is definitely inferior to the
It's
rest
lesser
of-
to the current stuff, but I
But
mean, it was
it's not
just getting
bad.
started.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
I don't think it's bad, but I don't think it's as good as what it is or what Sakamoto's become.
I don't know. I got bored reading it, so maybe I don't know.
Damn, Trent, we really have like really opposite tastes.
This
I
man
thought that
hates
was one of the
manga.
best.
But yeah, no. It was a good. It was actually a really solid magazine. Nothing insanely standout. I mean, we found it interesting enough for a talk for an hour and a half for a lot of these series. We're super smartphone supremacy here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But supremacy smartphone. But yeah, no, really exciting issue this week. Next week we're getting not in the magazine, but Chainsaw Man Part 2 will be started, which is exciting.
Can't wait to talk about that.
The promotional images have been giving me a very different tone. It seems like a new character, but almost looks like Kobeni. But it seems like we're getting a new character.
Or can I talk about spoilers for this or no?
For Chainsaw Man in general?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah.
If you're not caught up with Chainsaw Man,
Yeah.
Chainsaw Man spoilers be warned. But go for it, Chen.
Yeah.
I thought that it was maybe like the Control Demon's reincarnation holding it.
Oh.
Which would have been interesting, but I don't know.
That would be cool.
Maybe it's something completely new.
Yeah. Hunter x Hunter is almost done.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like done with his 4-chapter run. Like he's on the last one, right? He's completed like 3 or 9 or whatever.
Has he completed, or are these the storyboards?
I
can't tell with the art.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was like, in my binge of Hunter x Hunter recently, because I'm now caught up to chapter 250. So I've got 150 chapters left to go, which has been pretty easy, and it'll only get easier because now I'm not like refreshing myself. It's all brand new content for me.
It's also going to get harder because you're going to get to those chapters where it's literally just text too.
And I'm excited because I always just it's constantly like never rewarding. Like if I do decide to read all of that dialogue, Hunter x Hunter is like, yeah, that didn't actually matter. We did not tell you any information that severely mattered. I'm like, oh, thanks, Hunter x Hunter, thanks, because they'll always play it off with like Gon being like, huh, I don't know. That doesn't matter or mean anything to me. And I'm like, cool, that means nothing to me as a reader as well. But it's been really good. Chimera and Arc, I guess maybe I just didn't like understand it when I was younger, but Chimera and Arc is way crazier than I remember it being. Also, I'm a big boy to understand that this chess game is really fucking cool, or not chess, they're playing something else. They've played a bunch of different games, but the board games they're playing is really, really cool, and it means a lot now. When I was a kid, I did not understand why the fuck they're playing board games. But yeah, no, it's been really good. I'm excited to be caught up with it. I'm looking forward to it. I've heard everything preceding Chimera Arc is also great. It gets better and better. So I'm looking forward to these new chapters. I'm looking forward to seeing Togashi back in the magazine, which will be really, really crazy to see after so long. But yeah, Hunter x Hunter, it's been a good read. And then has there been anything else crazy going on? I feel like
In terms of news?
Yeah.
I mean, we covered a lot from Anime Expo last week, so I feel like news is going to start slowing down a little bit.
Yeah.
But what were you going to say about it?
There was one major thing, I feel like, that I don't know if you guys saw. The Duffer Brothers, the creators of Stranger Things,
I definitely
are making
want to talk about
live-action Death Note.
So it was confirmed that it's a series and not a movie. And
that's what I thought. Okay, that's good. That's a good sign.
So I was saying, I think I was talking to Key about it, or somebody else. I was talking about it.
You did.
Where I'd be less concerned if it's a series, because I think one of the biggest issues with the movie that existed before was that it was going to be condensed. It was just something too condensed.
You can't do it in a movie. You cannot do Death Note in a movie.
Also,
it does not work.
Also, because you just have too much going on in Death Note. Also, please, if you're gonna do Death Note, please keep it just as true to you as you can to the story. That's what makes Death Note so good. Quit derailing what Death Note did or what the story beats. That's what makes Death Note so interesting. I like the Duffer Brothers. They're great directors. This recent season of Stranger Things has kind of shown where they're like, we're gonna take our time and use our budget well. Season 2 and 3 of Stranger Things are okay. Season 4 was really, really good. They really put their time into it. I could feel a lot of investment. If you're gonna do something like Death Note, give it the same time and appreciation, please, because when they do put work into it, they can really make and direct some awesome things. So
yeah, I'm very optimistic for this, because if you look at it, Netflix is obviously making the decisions. They're doing One Piece or live action.
Yeah.
Stranger Things is the biggest show Netflix has ever been a part of or created.
Yeah.
So they're letting the creators of their biggest show make Death Note,
which is
if they fuck it up, I don't know what to say at that point.
Yeah,
like they cannot. They're gonna have probably a huge budget. Stranger Things 4 was the biggest budget for any TV season ever.
Yeah.
Obviously, Death Note's not gonna be that big, but with the Duffer Brothers' involvement, I feel like they're the best people for the job.
I'm sure they'll see a pretty big budget for this. I am curious what the duration will be. Just seemingly like the standard, probably 10 to 12 episodes. I would imagine, probably at about an hour a piece. I think that's it.
Have they said if it's going to be a retelling or if they're going to do something different?
They just basically said Duffer Brothers and Death Note. I feel like that's all the information we have. I could be wrong. I haven't been able to find many articles about it. Also, just like nothing super direct from them.
Yeah. When it comes to that, I'm really worried because Netflix, as we know, has already done this before. It was a movie. And the biggest issue with it was everyone went into it expecting like a retelling of Death Note, but instead they just kind of Americanized it and made it its own thing. And they even changed the ending entirely.
Oh, they just completely butcher
different.
it. Like,
Yeah,
what you said, what I'm very scared of. Stranger Things is very American. As a Canadian, it is like super American 80s culture.
Yeah,
like I can
it's
feel
American
it.
culture. That's the whole point. Yeah,
That's what I'm super fucking scared about with Death Note. Please do not set it in America. Please. A huge part of what makes Death Note super interesting is it's like how it's set in Japan. Please keep it set in Japan.
It totally. Look,
don't
I could
Americanize it. Please.
Look, you could have it set in America, but it's just that the way they did it was wrong.
The way they did it initially was just. I mean, there's a lot. There's so much that went into what obviously I think just like from the ground the movie was garbage. But
if it's set in America, I hope it has nothing to do with the manga. I hope it's just a completely new story.
Yeah,
I'm open to a new Death Note story live action.
Yeah, no.
I'm open to that. But if
you
can't have it, you can have Light Turner come back.
Make it fucked up. Like Light was awful. keep it the way it was. I just really hope it's a retelling and not like a direct retelling.
I'd almost prefer an original story with like original characters. Like if you get, that book, you give a mouse a cookie, he'll do this and that. If you give a person a Death Note, what's going to happen? It's going to depend on what person has it. I'd almost want to see what would happen in that scenario because we've seen that happen with like side stories and stuff.
Oh, the side stories have been great.
So do that again, but make your own character. Just make the characters interesting and make it so that it honors the original work.
Yeah,
right?
I wouldn't be object to something fresh with the Death Note, but if you're gonna use the character Light Yagami, please stick so close to the source material, as close as you can. That's all I hope. That's my wish because I feel like them straying from the source material in the movie was the biggest mistake. Like that's what made it so bad.
Trent?
Yeah. I actually
fell asleep.
No, I didn't have much more to say to add on, but I actually do kind of disagree. I don't think Death Note can be good without without using the source material. I think the way Death Note, or at least for live action, I think you could do it fine with like anime or something. But I think the stuff that goes on in Death Note is so much more interesting than anything that you could make up on your own. I think I think it would be a really awful decision not to do that, and we've seen that before, where it is just dog shit if you don't.
Yeah, I think Oba's world was so like just well written and very well thought out, and I think that it's just you have this set up for you, just adapt it. That's all.
The only thing I will agree that using side stories would actually be a really good idea because the side stories in Death Note are amazing.
Yes, they're all
I'm saying like make up a side story, like something that's original. You don't have to make it necessarily bad or Americanized or anything like that, but just make up your own story so we get something fresh from it because everyone's seen Death Note. Fucking everyone. Even if you don't anime, you've seen Death Note.
I almost wonder if they're gonna get like a lot of budget into this. We're seeing Oda work on the One Piece live action. Do you think there's a chance we could see Oda work on this? Like maybe they could actually have some direct involvement.
That'd be interesting.
That could be cool.
I mean, I'm sure that this will be like years and years before we see it. I don't know how far or even like.
At least 2 or 3. Well, actually, no, because they still have to finish Stranger Things. Yeah, no, we're like 5-6 ways a year.
Yeah, I don't even know any of the progress. I feel like it's just an idea has been greenlit, not even maybe a script.
Well, because then they made like a new studio for the Duffer Brothers.
Yeah,
Netflix.
It's like called Upside Down Studios or something like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's interesting. I have so many concerns with it, just because obviously we've done this. It's like fucking Groundhog's Day. We're just watching all these live actions we picked up by Netflix, and Netflix is like the worst studio for it. Like we're like 10-0 right now. Like it's like, what? You have all these live actions and not a single one that's been out yet has been good. We know we still have One Piece, but like I don't have.
Dude, I have faith in the One Piece. I still have faith in the One Piece live action.
I really hope that's good.
That's all you can hope. Obviously, they don't have good track records, so
they don't have good track records. But everything that's been going on so far that we know so far has given me hope.
All the sets they've been showing,
all the sets, all the actors.
The casting is awesome.
There seems to be a lot of care and love put into it, so I just hope that pays off.
For sure. I can talk forever about it because I've been following it really closely, and I've been keeping up with all the stuff that's been going on with Netflix live action for One Piece. I know Oda is going to be there sometime this month, I think. So if we'll see pictures online of Oda at the set, that'd be fucking awesome. Like, have him on the Going Merry. I'd be like, oh, he must be fucking living the dream right now.
So happy.
And if all goes to hell and it doesn't work, at least at the end of the day, they have those really cool sets, and they could probably make something out of it. You know?
Oh, for sure. I think even like just seeing like just the sets would be interesting enough. Just to see a live action world of One Piece will be cool. Like it'll be worth the watch.
Brody is gonna be so awesome.
Yeah, like just from seeing the sets, it'll be cool.
Speaking of the Netflix live action One Piece, all the actors just went to see the Minions movie.
They got dressed up.
They got dressed up and everything. Luffy put on face paint. That's great. But yeah, I don't think there's anything else. I don't think there's anything else news-wise that I can think of.
No, there wasn't much this week. Like you said, everything was at Anime Expo.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to jump into next week. We've got I don't know if we'll get it translated, but we've got a one sheet by the creators of
One
shot by the creators of Ghost Rider Paradox, which will be.
Oh wow.
That's the baseball one, right?
This week. Yeah, I think it is baseball, which is surprising because it's complete derailment from Ghost Rider Time Paradox.
Yeah, this will be interesting. I'm excited for it. Hopefully, if we get to read it, that's the other thing. If we get to read it,
I really hope I get to read it.
Yeah, and then
is it on Jump Plus or is it?
No, it'll be in Jump. So maybe not. And then we have Chainsaw Man Part 2, which to look forward to, and hopefully a great week of Jump. I don't know what's leading color
Chainsaw Man anime trailer got confirmed for Crunchyroll Expo. I guess that's something.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Oh, did it?
August 5th,
cool.
Between the 5th and the 7th.
Yeah.
So yeah.
We'll have that to look forward to.
What do we know? What's lead in color next week?
I think My Hero.
Yeah. Oh.
Is it My Hero?
I pretty sure I saw My Hero.
Is next issue the last one before One Piece comes back?
Yes, I think One Piece will be back. Yeah.
And then, do you know when
34? Yeah.
Black Clover comes back, Key?
It's 1 month away.
Yeah, I think 1 month.
Okay. Because I have like 100 chapters of that. I need to catch up one. Okay.
Aiden, get caught up now. Go.
Oh my god.
It's so good, dude. You have to.
That's I think I want to get My Hero first, and then I'll get.
Man. Black Clover's
better. Okay.
Interesting take. Interesting take.
I am surprised that Bo would say that.
I watched like 70 episodes of Black Clover when the anime first started, so I don't know. I'm not too raring to jump into it.
That's fair.
I'm not too raring to jump into either My Hero or Black Clover. So I couldn't tell you. It's been so long. The last time I remember was like a Hot Spring episode.
These people need to fucking untag me from the conversation. I commented once in this person's post, and they're like getting into a whole argument about if soda's healthy for you or not. Like, goddamn.
That's funny.
Okay.
But yeah, that's let's wrap this one, episode 32. We'll see you guys next week in issue number 33. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time. See ya.
See you guys.
See you later.
Bye.